In my quest to leave a mark on the culture and make hip hop proud, I'd like to welcome you all to another episode of The Essence. I am your host, KB Tyndall, and The Essence is presented by Tent TV and powered by Validated Magazine. Today, I have a rising artist on the show that has barred it down with some of the best wordsmiths of this era. He travels from Iowa to Brooklyn to Rochester to Syracuse, and all of that has molded him into the consummate hustler and lyricist that he is today. And his real life is the soundtrack for the music that he creates. He's a man of honor that stands on principles and discipline, and he's well on his way to becoming a household name. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of The Essence, Grea8gawd. What's
Peace,
good,
man.
God?
Hey, man, I like that lineup. I like that. That was dope. That was dope.
All right.
You nailed that one. Yeah.
All right, I got to bring you in right, you know what I mean?
Yeah, son, I like that. Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful.
for sure.
What's going
For
on?
sure.
Let's talk about
it. Definitely. Let's jump right into it, man. You know, I did some research. I watched some interviews. I listened to some music. You know, you started off at an early age in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You know,
Yeah.
and then at a young age you went out to Waterloo and Des Moines, Iowa, and then you ended up in Brownsville, Rochester, and Syracuse, New York. Three very different but very much alike, same parts of New York.
Right.
Tell me how each of those places kind of like inspired you. Like, what's something you took away from those locations that you still carry with you today, whether it's for survival tactics or relating to the music or whatever?
So let's start with Waterloo, right? So my grandmother lived at 229 Rickett Street, right? In Waterloo. From that household, I took away from that was love, man, and honor and respect. You know, like my mother's mother was somebody who house I spent a lot of time in. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Yellow Rose, Almeda McClellan. Yeah, but it's like I took a lot from her crib, bro. I learned a lot walking to Junior's from her house, not the cheesecake, but Ross Junior's. It was a little corner store by her crib.
Right.
And then around another corner, my Aunt Ernestine lived on East 4th Street. So that was East 4th Street was the first time I got shot at, was on that block with my cousin, my cousin Booney, who was a GD, and I was running with some VLs and they were shooting at him, and and I happened to be in the car. But from that household, I took a lot of, so from Waterloo, period, I got a lot of love and I learned love and respect because my uncles was real men. Like they was the real mans. You understand?
Got you.
I had real uncles. Like if I disrespected my mother, I already know that it's hell when I go over there. I'm getting dropped over there and I might get a mouth shot, an eye jammy. But at the very least, though, God, I know I'm gonna get a stern talking to.
Right, no doubt.
And if Pow there, I'm getting that strap. Period. that joint that you sharpen the razor with. Oh, he's taking that.
You talk about.
Yeah, he's taking that off the wall, and it's hell to pay.
Yeah.
That built character. I knew who to play with. I learned the rules and parameters at my grandmother's house.
Okay.
Because at my mother's house, you know, like I grew up with a step pop. So I played with him. I played with them a lot. You know, I would push the limits with them. But I know at my grandmother's crib, ain't no pushing no limits. One uncle lived upstairs, one lived downstairs where the pool table at. Boy, you better be like, you had to be sturdy. I had to be all the way right. I would say after that, I would say in Brooklyn, what I took away from BK was first of all, knowledge of self. First of all, knowledge of self. The lessons, you know, learning to master who I am, or even striving for perfection. We ain't none of us perfect, but I learned there to strive for perfection, and I learned that I learned homeboy relationships a lot too, but I learned that in Des Moines too. But I learned the treachery of like, nah, just everybody to shake your hand. You know what I mean? Don't put your gun down because your enemy smile. You
Right,
know.
right.
So it ain't, I learned a lot of that in the K. I learned, that's Juxon and you know what I'm saying? Like all of the foolery that I could get into was just taken to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
In Syracuse, in just upstate period, Rochester, Syracuse,
Right.
is where I really, really started to put down my hustle.
Okay.
Like I kind of, even in Iowa though, I would dibble and dabble, but when I moved to New York is when I really, I was working in the barber shop, and they had a pool table back there. Mind you, I just said I grew up with a pool table the whole time.
Right.
Granny had one of them downstairs. So my grandfather was he made you got to shoot, like you got to call 2 balls ahead with him. And so he was sharp on that table. So once I was working at the barbershop, now I ain't even really cutting because I'm cutting everybody's ass on the pool table. You know what I'm saying? Around that pool table, I'm hearing conversations that I ain't supposed to be hearing. And now I'm learning to hustle. Now I'm learning, this, and after that, now let's go, now I want my own gate. I don't want to work for nobody. I don't want to work.
Right.
I don't want to work for the old man no more. You know what I'm saying? Let me grab my own 62. let me rip my own gate, reinforce the doors, get me a crock pot in case the people come to the door. I can fry the coke. Yeah, so that's where that started at. And then, Syracuse I learned, well, even upstate period. I didn't have no children before I came to upstate New York.
Okay.
So I had my first baby girl in Rochester. And then I had my other children I had in Syracuse. So in Syracuse, I learned a whole lot. Syracuse, I learned a whole lot because I met the people that molded and shaped my rap career. I met the people that molded and shaped my mind into adulthood, like my man Kasim. He's somebody that I wish could be here, son, to see where this is going, because he really believed in me, like Mike Childs and Sal and all of them. Like they really truly believed in me and still do. But Kasim ain't here. But he was one of the people that saw what I was doing in the streets, and he was the only person that would have conversations with me in regards to, come on, son, you better than that.
Right.
I understand that you think that you're good at that, but don't be talking about that's all you know how to do. That's what you choose to do, because you could do anything. You probably could better be the president if you put your mind to it. He always used to tell me, like, you could, man, you could be in politics and you could be the mayor. You could do this and that. So,
right.
Yeah, and I just, so upstate, I learned that, man. I learned the hustle, and I learned, I met some beautiful people up here. I'm in Syracuse as we speak. But I learned too, what I really took from Syracuse is that geographical location don't have nothing to do with your dreams.
It got shit to do with it, no doubt.
Man, I made everything happen in my career and for my brothers' careers, like the rest in peace Stuntman Doze and Sammy G, Louis Vuitton. We did all of that from a 3-bedroom apartment on North Salina, man. 726 North Salina. We did that. 624 North Salina. 726 was the studio. 624 North Salina is where we honed our skills at it. We formed this brotherhood, and we never really had no discrepancies. Me and like the brothers, the close brothers. Man, so I learned brotherhood, and I learned, just, man, you could do whatever you want. People will say, man, you still up here? You still over there? You better get out of there. Yeah, no, nah. It's like, nah. I don't have to be in LA to make it happen, to shoot a movie. we shot a movie right here in the Cuse and had the town going crazy. You understand? So I learned that geographical location ain't going to determine where I get to in life in Syracuse. And I just learned, you know, loving babies unconditionally and, you know, things of that nature.
Yeah, no doubt. Those are a lot of jewels, man, from a lot of places, man. It seems like you had real ones around you. You know what I mean? That taught you shit that you were supposed to learn. You know what I mean? On how to get you to the next level as opposed to how to keep you in one spot. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. It was a lot of the older guards. They saw what I had in me and they knew it was special and they cultivated more than they tried to destroy. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Now, we all know that Roc Marciano is like the father to that underground, you know, that style that a lot of you guys you know, incorporate into your bars and into your music. He's like the godfather of that.
Absolutely.
You know, and tell me about how the opportunity to actually sign with the PIMPIRE label with Roc Marci came about. How did that happen?
So that happened. I was shooting a video in Rochester with Ito, right? New crack era, my guy Ito. And I would just mention to him because I knew that he had a relationship with Roc. And I mentioned to him that I wanted some Roc Marci beats. That's how it all started.
Okay.
So being the good fella he is, he called them on the phone and was like, yo, hold on. And one of the guards want to holler at you. So I got on the phone with Roc for momentarily. We talked about 10 minutes. He was like, yeah, nah, Lord, like send me something. Let me see where you at with it. And then we'll build from there. So when I sent him the records, then I sent him a couple more. He was like, nah, like, how long you been rapping, God? Like, what's going on here? I went on your gram, you got a fucking mask on. Who are you, man? So I'm like, nah. You know, I'm like, nah, son, I just started. I've been doing this about 1.5 years. You feel me?
Damn.
And he like, nah. He like, send me something else. So I sent him multiple. I sent him multiple records. And then, you know, he was just like, nah. I remember the first text he sent me back after he heard the batch. He was like, no, you different. Like, you special. You got something different with you. And then, you know, we continued to talk and we continued to build. And we was really building on everything except rap. You know, my son had just went to jail at that time. My baby boy had got incarcerated around that time. So Roc would call me a lot and just talk to me. We would talk about my young man and my, you know, his situation and things of that nature. And then, you know, he started inviting me to shows and letting me rock and introducing me to people. This is all genuine off the cuff. You know, this kid would have paid for this type of tutelage, but he did it because he genuinely thought that I was nice. And then one day he said, yo, God, like, you great, I'm great. You know what I'm saying? We don't necessarily need each other, but we will be beautiful together as a unit. And I said, well, you know, I agree, God. Like, let's add on. And that's what we did from that day forth. And he been genuine. And that's what, you know, and I give him his props every time I'm on an interview because he did something that he didn't have to do, man. Like you said, he is the Jay-Z of the underground. There's no way around that. He's the guy you got to go to get hot. So for him to keep it real with me and be alley-ooping me and talking about me to certain people and having my names in rooms that may have taken me 4 years for my name, because believe me, I was racking my brain. Like, how do I get Elliot? And how do I get these people on my radar? How do I get the Rosenberg's attention and this and that? So, you know, all of that type of stuff comes natural when you messing with the God. You know, I started noticing those follows. So
somebody say something, he say something, somebody gonna listen.
Yeah, of course. They listen. When he talk, they listening. Somebody, when it's all said and done with, somebody got to give him some millions for some A&R work because his track record is proven. Everybody he brings to the table is truly amazing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, God, I talk about my brother every time, man. I would rather talk about him than not talk about him. People like, damn, why he don't never big his brother? Because people, he talk about son in every interview. You fucking right, I do.
That's right.
He helped me feed my family. He helping me feed my kids, man. Of course I'm talking about him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. You gotta show that respect and that love back. Absolutely.
indeed.
Absolutely. So we know you dropped the Snow Day EP a while back, you know.
Right.
How did that EP change your life? Like you said, you was looking for the way in the door. You
Yeah.
know, you had these ideas. You had this music. You know, you're looking to make a change in life to come from the streets and convert to something new. How did
Right.
that EP change your life as far as being an artist is concerned? And how did you feel about the love that the project got?
So in regards to being an artist, it changed my life because the only
Mm,
thing I ever wanted to do, God, was be heard. I never
mm,
rapped, I never rapped for the money. I
mhm.
it was neverly financial driven. You understand? I never
Right,
did it
right.
because I wanted to hang around the other rappers. I only wanted people to hear what I had to say. And that EP made it to where people said, "Oh nah, yeah, the boy a little different." Like, hold on, hold on, what's going on? And yeah, so as an artist, it changed my life in that way, and it just made it to where I could ride around with a trunk full of bricks legally
Mm,
because I
mhm.
I took my EP and I put it in the form of a kilo, and I
I
made
saw
these
that.
yeah, I made
Yeah.
these bricks by hand, styrofoam them,
Hmm.
taped them, cut a window in them, and when you pop the window open, you get the EP. So,
Hmm.
it just got to show people who I was and where I was artistically, what, as a curator, and then,
Hmm.
most importantly, who I am on an MC level. So,
Right, right.
and then the second part of that was how did I feel about
About
I
the
felt
love, yeah.
the love was overwhelming. It's still overwhelming. I still get people that just now starting to, like every day somebody new hits me on the gram and say, like, yo, boy, I heard you. Damn, what? Like, I'm
Hmm.
sorry I'm late. And I'm like,
Just
nah,
like me. I
nah.
hit because my man's hit me up and I was
Uh-huh.
like, okay, let me tap in with Guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I had to reach out. Yeah.
Nah, yeah, nah, I appreciate that, God. So it was yeah, in terms of that, I mean, come on, man. When you got Premier and Lord Jamar and all of the people that I looked up to
Right,
talking about,
right.
oh nah, him, watch him, the Roc
Hmm.
Marciano'S, it's so many more, bro. Like it just that the love was overwhelming, and I don't take none of it for granted. The tragedy, Gaddafi's. These are people that I looked up to, bro. Like the
Hmm.
Tech is still like people don't know that Tech was one of the first ones from Smith and Wesson to be like, yo, son, crazy. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And really be like, yo, show me love, and we did records together. I got a record so mean with Tech, man, that I still ain't put it out. We gonna put that thing out I'm gonna put it out when it get cold, because it's one of them, it's Annie Up 2025. You know what I'm saying? It's one
We
of
need
those.
that. We need that shit.
Oh nah, yeah, that joint me and Tech got different. So, but I just say that to say, like, I looked up to them, man. Like I looked up to
Hmm.
Tech and Still. You think that
Hmm.
I got God Brothers on my own? God Brothers is Coco Brothers.
Right,
You
right, right,
understand what
right.
I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, like I really, really looked up to them. I really, really watched them and studied them. You understand?
Mm,
So,
mm,
so to get that love from them is it's different, man. To have Havoc calling me, talking about these records and
hmm.
sending me beats, like, come on, son. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
that
that's
for
the
me.
dream being realized right there. You know what I
Nah, of
mean?
course, God. Like
Yeah,
that, of course. When that type of
absolutely.
thing, when that type of thing is happening, man, it's incredible, man, and it feels beautiful. And like I said, like I always say, I just feel like as though I Islam is the reason that I mastered the patience that I have, the patience that I
Right.
show, that I know and understand I got from Islam. So you ask me what carried on from that I still use in my toolbox today. That's why the
Hmm.
lessons are so important, because without knowledge yourself, you don't get the patience that I got. The
Hmm.
saying people looking past you and you alley ooping everybody else, but you can't get no alley oop back.
Right,
And
right,
and
right.
then it's hard to watch other people that you alley-oop other people, and you like, damn, son, you forgot that I. But Islam and being a 5% in these lessons taught me, you know what? I'm not even mad at y'all, and y'all can still get a verse. You understand? I'm not. This ain't a revenge for me. I don't got no revenge in my heart. I don't want to make it. I don't want to make it to shit on nobody. But that comes from having knowledge of self. Because I know what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in the air and put for me, can't nobody take it.
You got that right. That's a fact.
Can't nobody take what he put in place for me. That's why I never had a problem with helping everybody else, because for what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours. So I never really, you know, I didn't, it was times, of course, when I was younger where I may have been like, man, yo, such and such, I did this and that, damn, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part now, like, nah, I got rid of the ego. And, you know, when you master self, man, it just, or, you know, everything works out better.
Everything falls into place. Yeah.
You get rid of that ego. Right.
No doubt. No doubt. Now I heard you say that your favorite track on the EP is Thanks for Nothing, because you approached it from the concept of the addictive fiends perspective.
Right.
But what do you think, whether it's on this project or you know, a track that you got somewhere laying in the cut, what do you think the hardest song was for you to ever make? Because maybe it was therapeutic for you, or maybe you just spit some bars about something that was really tough to talk about or come to terms with. Is there a song like that in your catalog so far?
Two of them. One of them is called Sins of a Father.
Okay.
That record is for my son. The other one is called Khair's Dream. And Khair is my son's son. That's my grandboy. And he's like 3.5 months old right now. And that record that I talked about him is going to be on my new EP. It come out in November. Okay. But that record right there was just me telling the babies to hold on to your dreams, man. Like really, like, and you know, when I just kind of gave them the guide of how to go through life, and whatever you do, children, hold on to your dreams and don't never think it's too late. Because I'm the prime example of, I'm the poster boy for it's never too late. You know,
right. Never too late. Right.
Yeah, it ain't never too late, man, to get a dream and write it down and accomplish it and go after it. It ain't too late. But really, like, Sins of a Father is one of them records that for me was like, you know, I had to talk to my son and I had to let him know, and I had to let myself know, like, man, you you had him around the block and you had him around these people that was dangerous people, and they revering you and they glorifying who you was in the streets, and he's listening, and he shouldn't have been in those conversations. He shouldn't have been around those people. I should have kept him away from those people. You know what I'm saying? Because the things that we watch our father do, son, like I watched my father do things that I wanted to do just because he did it. You understand? So, you know, I had to just look back in retrospect and say, damn, man, like I should have had him in the masjid, make a salat, not on the block, niggas glorifying his pops. You understand? So I should have just really guarded my baby boy a little bit more, and I should have guarded his mental, you know, in the things that he was looking and seeing. I should have you know, put the shade over his eye a little bit more, even though I felt like I did, but it's just particular times that I know that I dropped the ball and he seen and heard things that he shouldn't have heard. He couldn't fathom what was being said or what he was seeing. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't fair for him it wasn't fair for me to expose him to that at that age that he was. Yeah. So I got it. That record is on my new EP too. It's called Sins of a Father, featuring David Ruffin. That one is a special one.
Featuring David Ruffin. Okay.
Yeah, that one right there is, that one is even a tough one to listen to.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
One of them really, really therapeutic joints. Yeah.
Indeed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's your earliest memory of hip hop?
Earliest memory of hip hop. Whoo. I mean, I would have to go back to like Wild Style or you understand, you know, just seeing or just being around and seeing, you know what? Actually, like around that time, but just my older brother and him running around with his box. You understand? That was like yeah.
So you was exposed that generation. We call that generation 1.5, basically.
That's 1.5. Yeah.
1.5. If you're talking Wild Style, that's generation 1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Electric Boogaloo, breaking.
Yeah,
Turbo,
you're
Ozone.
talking early 80s. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
British
definitely.
Walkers.
Yep. British Walkers, Playboys,
Yeah.
Sheepskins. Yeah, all that.
Tricolor Sherlins and shit like that.
Yeah.
Things of that nature.
all that. That's that. Yeah,
Even
that's my era. I ain't going even front. That's my era. You know what I
yeah.
mean? New York, Queens, that's where I'm from. You know what I mean? That's my era, definitely.
Oh, you from
Definitely.
Queens? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay.
I moved out to Cali. Like 8 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What has been your most memorable moment in the industry so far as an artist?
Most memorable moment. Woo. Ah, man. My most memorable moment. I would probably have to say when I heard K Slay play my joint on that warning, and I heard the gates. Yo, son, when I heard the gates slam, warning, and I had a record called Projects. It was a story. It was a story record about visiting somebody in the P's. Remember when Ice Cube did Once Upon a Time in the Projects? Yo, record home. I kind of did a flip on that, and I was driving. I can't remember. I was coming down Atlantic, and I heard that warning, and I heard him, and he brought that thing back like 6-7 times. I said, "Oh no, he wilding," and he kept bringing it back. And my little brother was in the car with me, my little brother Heck, and he was like, "Yo, son, he thought it was. I thought I had a disc in at the time."
Right.
He like, "Oh, that's ill." And yeah, man, that probably was one of my most memorable moments right there.
That's a good one to have. Rest in peace to K Slay, man, no doubt.
Yeah, that had to be. But you know what? One of my other memorable moments was meeting Cormega. Me and Traj was in Queensbridge, and he was like, and he knew I liked it Mega. You understand? So next thing he kind of snuck off, and he had hit Mega, and next thing you know, me and Traj, we in front of 4112 just building, and Mega walked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at that point, I was so engulfed in the streets that I wasn't even really rapping. You understand? I was wrapped up in the bullshit, So I didn't even rap for him or nothing, Like I just we just kicked it for a little bit, and we talked and we just did some building, and that was that. But that was one of like, and Traj put that together, man.
That's
I love tragedy, man. Yeah. Peace to the God. Word.
That's dope. Definitely. As a kid, man, I know you said you looked up to Smith and Wesson. Who else did you like look up to as far as when you look back on it now, like kind of inspired you to rap? And then what age did you really start taking this thing seriously?
So when I really started taking it serious was 2 years ago, God. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I said I'm gonna put all my energy into this and see what happened. It was like 2 years ago. But Nas, man, like Nas is a bit like he made me want to rap, bro. Like Nas, Cool G Rap, $500,000.
$500,000, wow.
Oh man.
Mm.
I would just ride through Harlem and I heard somebody playing half next to me like 3-4 days ago. And I'm like, man, like he don't even know. Like, yeah, half though. You know, Ruck and Rock, all of the cats really from the Ville, like, you know what I'm saying? All of the boot camp. You know, but I like, you know, all of them, man, like Kane, Rakim, G-Rap, you know, all the guys that were spitting that serious, you know, because I was always on the fence of, okay, the Knowledge of Self records or run up and hit the bastard hard, ripped his pants clean off his ass, took his Visa and his MasterCard. You know what I'm saying? So it was either one of the, I would go back and forth to, do I like Just Ice or do I want to listen to Rakim Shabazz and them? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you got Knowledge of Self and you know that you're like, man, damn, bro, why I like that so much, man? You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's always been that. And even that's why I stopped rapping for a long time too, because I said to myself, like, damn, how do I know and understand what I know, but I'm still teaching the foolery. You understand what I'm saying? So that always bothered me, God. It was like, because you know, you can't be held accountable for that in which you don't know. But if you know and understand and you still doing bad, that's 1,000 times worse. Then they say that's punishable by death. If you're not teaching the babies, then so it's hard to make those records, but I make them so well because I really been through all of these situations.
Right. You're talking about your real life.
So it's like it's just finding a way to mix the message and the medicine. You understand? You know, to put the medicine in the food the right way and give it to them the way that, you know, it still be true to what I'm saying. So
no doubt, definitely. So I've heard you talk about this, and I'm curious if there's a date on it. When is the unveiling of Losing the Mask and this documentary gonna happen? Because I heard you talk about this documentary. I heard you talk about this scene that you got planned with who's gonna be on stage with you and how you gonna map that out. Like when can we expect to see that? Is there a date in mind?
I would say I'm gonna take the mask off by at least 2025. Give me 2 more years, God, with it on.
Okay.
Give me 2 more years. When I take the mask off, I really want the people to know and understand that. Nah, him.
Okay, yeah.
Like okay. Yeah. Now it all makes sense. And at that point, I know and understand they can't blackball me. They can't do nothing. They can't X me out the game because I'm gonna be able to make certain footprints that's going to last, that stand the test of time. So
no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah. That's dope though. That's dope that you got a plan of attack on how you want it to be done. You know, and you already got a foothold in the game, and then you already have a history, you know, where people know you from that life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to make the correlation, you know, between the two and then present it to the people in the right way makes a lot of sense, man. Yeah.
Right. Indeed.
No
It's
doubt.
gonna be a special event. When I do that, it's gonna be a special event, man. And you know, just like for me though, like I always say, son, like it's just the lyrics and what I'm saying just is so much more important. Because guess what? You don't even get to judge. You know how many rappers I looked at and I said, "Oh, I don't believe son." Just prejudging.
That happens all the time.
Yeah, you know, you might be locked up somewhere, or you might see somebody. Oh, I know, I'm taking that straight up and down. Like, just you don't know you don't know if he got the guard you on him. You don't even care. But just because of how he looked, you were like, nah, I'm going across his hairline.
I'm gonna test that one.
I'm testing that. Yeah, he's testable. Yeah. So they don't get to, you know, now all you have to do, the only thing that you could do now with Grea8gawd is just say he can either rap his ass off or he whack, or I don't, you know what I mean? But all of the others, you know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I want that to be the most important part. What I'm really bringing to the table.
What you saying? Yeah,
I
what
don't
you
want
saying?
the car to be the. I don't want the car to be the
Mm-hmm.
focus. I don't want the jewelry to be my watch. I don't want my
Mm-hmm.
who I'm dating. I don't want none of that to be the focal point because they get
Mm-hmm.
lost in that, God. The people, the people get lost in that. I'm sure we both dealt with women that know more about what's going on television than what they know about their own relationship.
That's a fact right there.
If you
bro.
want to talk to me about T.I. and Tiny and what's going on TV, I'm not the man for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But a lot of these females, but that's because they put so much of their life in their persona, and it's all on TV. They buy into that more than the artist. That's how
and the
people
toxicity. And the toxicity from a lot of that shit spills over into their real life.
To their real life, and this shit wasn't even supposed to be real.
Yeah.
This was microwave shit. Now it became the main course. Like, whoa, how this happened? So I don't want them to get confused, God. I don't want them. I just want them to pay attention to the records. That's it. Judge the message, not the source.
I feel you. No doubt. No doubt. Tell me about this joint project that you got, cooking up with Roc Marci, and then give me a little bit of info about your artist that you bring into the table, Sammy Jesus, with a G.
Sammy Jesus. Okay. Roc Marci, we got a record, an EP coming out. It's called God Brothers.
What's the name of it?
God Brothers. Like Cocoa Brothers, but God Brothers.
Got you.
Once again, me and Roc got that. Like, all of my verses is turned in. We're going to put the pressure right on the God. We talked about doing it. He sent me the beats. I went crazy. He got the project. He got it. He said, listen, God, we not, and I quote, I'm not getting on just one or two of these records for this EP. We gonna do this like Ray and Ghost.
Ooh, nice.
Word is bond. He said, we gonna do this like Ray and Ghost. He said, oh, I say no more. Take all the time, God. I'm gonna keep the streets hot until then. But that's gonna be like, I ain't gonna lie, the beats that he sent. Bro, like, Roc has just tapped into a different chamber, and the chamber he tapped into when he sent those beats. Each one of them beats, when he sent it, I'm loading as soon as he sent it. So the beats is remarkable. The visuals is gonna be a movie. You know what I'm saying? I play with them red cameras. That's what I do. So like, the visuals is gonna be immaculate, and man, I can't wait for that one. That one is gonna be special. It's gonna be called God Brothers, and that's Great God, Roc Marci, Great God, going back and forth on damn near every 9 records that's gonna be on there.
That's dope.
And I'm on Roc Marci new joint. So I'm on 2 of his joints on the project that's coming out. So you know what? Like, he's setting me up properly, man. Like, and that's another thing, like, the setup, everything is dope. And then he just called me last week and said, with a big announcement, I'll let him give the announcement, but somebody very, 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 he's the biggest in the underground, right? Who's the biggest in the overground? In your opinion?
That's a broad question.
Okay, well, that's who signed. That's who grabbed Roc. I'm just gonna leave it like that.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So we got some. We get ready to do something that they ain't seen. You understand?
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But who's the greatest though? Like, let me ask you one question, God. Like, who's the best?
The greatest MC?
Yeah.
Oh man, bro, that's a tough question. All right. So for me, Hov is my guy.
Okay.
Right. I think Hov can fuck with anybody, even to this
is
day.
Hov better than Nas?
But I think, let me get on my queen shit for a minute. So Nas Esco is probably the follow-up of all of that. Like, as far as bars, lyricism, cadence, metaphors, entendres, all of that shit, Nas is unbelievable. You know what I mean? So yeah, those 2 weigh the scale. You know what I mean? For the best of our generation.
So it's no way that you could pick one.
Damn. I gotta go with Hov, man. Hov is my guy, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I fuck with Hov heavy.
Okay.
Yeah, I fuck with Hov heavy. But I could see either or. I can see you and Marcy doing because Marcy is like the Hov of the underground, right? And Hov is that dude, and so is Nas. So I can see either or being a part of what you're talking about. Either one would shock the world. Let's put it like that.
It's one of the two.
Okay. Okay. I could work with that.
It's one of the two.
I could work with that. I could work with either one of them. And I know either one of them gonna make you bring that pen game.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
My favorite is Nas, though. I ain't gonna lie. Like Nas is okay. Nas is my absolute favorite. I feel like he's better than everyone.
I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad. That's a viable argument in any room that you step into.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell me about Sammy Jesus, man.
Sammy Jesus. First of all, let me tell you how loyal he is. Sammy G is the epitome of loyalty. He's been around me for a long time. He's been very patient, and he gave me his EP probably 2 weeks ago. It's amazing. I'm actually getting ready to drop that. I'm a player for Roc, and I'm gonna see if we gonna drop it on PIMPIRE just to give my boy an extra look. But Sammy Jesus it's only one other person that I ever heard rap like him, and that was his older brother that recently passed away, our brother Thump Mendoza. Besides that, Sammy G is different. Like, I'm talking about the wit. He encompasses everything an MC is supposed to have. Everything. Right. Songwriting ability, witty, gritty. You know what I'm saying? He got the look. He got everything. He got the delivery. He got everything. He got the right amount of cockiness without being arrogant. You understand? Sammy Jesus embodies everything that you suppose. He's an A&R's dream. That's what I would say. If I could, for real. And he gonna work too. And he gonna work. We just slept in the studio together for a decade and a half. Yo, I wake up, he record me, he go to sleep. We raised our children. We raised our boys in that studio. It's pictures of me, and like Sammy been with me the longest. You know what I'm saying? Of everybody that's still around. So yeah, man, he different, man. He's different. He different. I'm gonna matter of fact, I'm gonna take one of his singles and I'm gonna start getting his artwork done. And in the intro, putting my joint out, I'm gonna be sprinkling his joints out because he definitely ready and he need the light. He different, man. I remember I let Paul Kane during the COVID was doing that where he would let you call up on his live and then he'd tell you, nah, you gotta remember I don't know if you remember, but Fab Brother was doing that. Man, every time Sammy got on there, I'm talking about the legends, like how people revering me and cheering me on. That was doing him, and we just didn't take it and run with it. But right now, you know, his bro got the ball, and if I got the ball, you know, I'm always alley-oop him. But he definitely, he definitely truly is. He's the second. Like so I would say $500,000 is probably the personally that I know. $500,000 was the best at everything. Like he was half was just different. Thump Mendoza, different. Sammy G, it's like neck and neck, man. So y'all know how nice $500,000 was. Like Sammy and them he got that in him, man.
Okay.
He really got that in him. And then, you know, like the rest of the God Squad, man, we got my bro K Dot from Brownsville, Just One, my man Rock North from out in London. You know what I mean? We got a section out there. My man Weasel Sims out in the Shy, William Bostic in Brooklyn. So you know what I'm saying? We got cats that's ready to get super duper busy. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Then
what's up. That's what's
we got
up.
a family of producers that's with us. So yeah, man, it's
Got a movement. That's what's up. Yeah.
yeah, we got a movement.
Definitely.
People don't want to. People's cool with following one person, but they want a
Mm.
clean movement. So we're gonna give them
Yeah.
this next wave.
When you got a movement, and give them more to talk about. You know what I mean? People can choose their favorites, and you can have
Yes,
dialogue about it. And
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
They gonna always do that. You know that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so I've heard you say that you don't drink and you don't smoke.
Right. Never
Is
have.
that is that is that because you just chose to at an early age, or was it just the things that you saw in your life? You know, that made you say, I'm not even gonna mess with that. You know what I mean? Or did you know early on that you had like the kind of personality where it was like, I don't need to fuck with that? Like what was the reason behind it?
So in the beginning, so initially it was my uncles, right?
Mhm.
And my uncle Tommy was the one that turned me on to the Nation of Islam, right? So I learned early that like that wasn't, you know what I mean? That ain't what I was supposed to have been doing. As I
Mhm.
got older, and it became a conversation piece, and I would be the only one in the room 9 times out of 10 that could say that. Then it was
Mhm.
like, I like that. You know what I mean? That's dope in itself
Mhm.
to be different. Then I just never really had a follower's mentality. I always had a leader's mentality. So I
Right.
never I never wanted to do something just because somebody else was doing it. I always kind of wanted to do the opposite. Then once
Gotcha.
when I would tell the ladies, I ain't never did that. They're like, what? Oh, they're like, you unicorn. You know, that type of love from the sisters that make you be like,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
yeah.
cool. I'm cool on that. And then the last part of that equation was, I'm too old now. Like, what? I ain't gonna start now. You know what I'm
Why
saying?
would you start? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't went this far without doing it. So that's how I went in those stages.
No doubt, no doubt. Um, so we all know you work with some of the best lyricists in the game, you know, Jada, Benny, and a whole bunch of others. I heard you say that your only competition was Benny. Um, who's the one artist or the one producer that really makes you step your pen game up when you know you're going into the studio with them?
Um, you said the artist to where I make sure I would probably say Kiss did that.
Mm-hmm.
When I did the first record that I did with Kiss, um, I sent my verse first. He sent me his, or Fendi sent me his verse back after that. And I wanted to change mine. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
I,
Ooh.
yeah, I want
Ooh.
to. Hey, yo, God, I want to change my joint. I, I ended up, I ended up leaving it because they said that was cheating.
Yeah, that's cheating. That's cheating, God. You can't.
You think that's cheating? That's crazy.
That's
I
cheating, man. You can't do that.
can't do it. You
Nah.
can't do it. Hey, you know what's crazy is I was talking to Steele about the record I was telling you about. I mean, technically, we was talking about the record that we got together, right? And I said, yeah, I'm about to re-record my verse, though. You know what I'm saying? Just spit it over. He like, oh, nah. Well, I'm doing mine over, too. I said, nah, your shit was straight. You know what I mean? He like, nah, son. he like, nah, I'm doing mine over, too. He said, what the fuck is you trying to do, God? But yeah, but Kiss definitely made me, you know, Kiss do that. And even Rock though, like I ain't gonna lie, like Rock made me do that but first of all, Rock kind of threw me for a loop because he sent me a beat that sampled every 3 bars. Now you know that's a little that shit was like
That's
this.
all over the
I'm
place.
trying to
Yeah.
catch I'm trying to catch the every time I thought I caught, I'm like, yo, this, and that was the first record he sent me to get on. I'm like, he testing me right now. This
Mm.
this right here is a test. And I ain't gonna lie, that verse took me longer because I usually knock out a verse in 10, 12 minutes, 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
None of my verses that you heard on Snow Day took longer than 15 minutes.
Okay, got you.
That one that I did with Rock for his album, just the beat being off, it threw me for a loop. But then again, too, it was like, I know what I'm up against, too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I know what they love him for, and what they love him for and what they love me for is not necessarily the exact same thing either. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yeah, we both dope in our own right. But it's definitely a difference. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I can't, the shit he do is immaculate. I can't do that. You know what I mean? The way he puts that shit, you know how he get in there and weave in and out of them pockets and then back in the pocket and come out of the pocket and go. Yeah, he the guards.
Different.
Me, I'm just gonna give you, I'm a straight shooter, I'm gonna bar you. And you know, and we, you know, but he made me do that though. Yeah, for sure. He was like, nah. You know, I'm gonna send you this joint. And then when I hit him back and I sent it, I'm like, yeah, son, that joint was weird. He like, oh yeah, I meant to tell you that, Lord. Like that joint looped on every third bar. It's a little different. I was like, yeah. You knew what you was doing, God. You knew what you was doing.
That's what's up. That's what's up. No doubt.
Yeah.
I know everybody says cocaine rap, but I heard you say that your shit is luxury cocaine rap. I like to think it's more like powerful personal stories of resilience and hustling and survival and just life's lessons. So how do you feel, man, when your art inspires someone else or it gets them through a bid or just gets them through anything in life and they come up to you and they give you that accolade and say, yo, bro, you got me through this, God, you know, whatever the case may be. Like how does that make you feel, man?
Man, that make me feel amazing, and that happened all the time. Like, you know, on my gram, they hit me and they tell me that, and I repost it a lot of times. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because for me, that's everything, son. Because if I could save one baby, or if I could save one person, or you know what I'm saying, or if you heard a record and you heard the patience through my record and you use that and you ain't cut son in the yard, that's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? So it made me feel amazing, man. Just like I said too, just to know that they really tuned in and they really paying attention. So now I really know my duty. You know what I'm saying? Now I gotta really take it there. You know, like a lot of guys get on the podium and they get their fame and they get their notoriety and they get lazy. And then they start cutting the brick. And then, you know what I mean? Now niggas ain't getting high no more. Nah, I'm getting ready to, you know, for me, it's the opposite. Word, now y'all watching. This is all I've been waiting for. Okay, now y'all tuned in. Now I'm about to give you substance. That's why the new EP it's no cocaine rap on the new EP. It ain't no coke bars on there. Because now let's get to the nitty gritty. Now let me show you why I call myself Great God and how I got the attribute Great God. You understand? Now let me show you that. Now, since you thought that you could box me in and you thought that all I did was rap about cocaine, nah, that was just for that project, Paul. That was just for that. That's not. It's vast amount of layers. You understand? And then
now
when you
switch them, take it to another level.
Now I'm gonna take them on through another chamber to where they gonna say, oh yeah, nah, he can't even, like, it ain't even the box big enough. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It ain't. So that's, you know,
That's dope. That's definitely dope. I heard you tell this all too common ass story of a fan sweating Roc Marcy for an autograph, and it ended up turning into something that got a little physical. and I know fans can be like that sometimes. You know what I mean? They get so amped up that they want to, you know, just get next to a person that they kind of idolize. But I want to know, how was it for you, and do you remember the first time that you signed an autograph?
Yes, I do remember the first time I signed the autograph. The first time I signed the autograph was in Harlem. I was on 145th Street. The first time I signed the autograph. And that was like I don't know. I can't remember. I would be lying if I gave you a year, but it was a while ago. But that's where I signed my first autograph at, was in Harlem. Yeah.
That's a great place to sign your first autograph.
Right. And that was when 145th Street was like Times Square at that time.
Well, yeah. Back in the days. Yeah.
On that hill. That was when the hill was, you know, it was like, that was like being on
that's the old Harlem. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like being on the Deuce. You feel me?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. Right. It
Yeah,
was at that
definitely.
time. And
Definitely.
yeah, matter of fact, me, Rel, and JR was rapping outside at that time. And
Okay.
somebody asked me for an autograph. Yeah. I
Mm.
never forget. I had on the ill yellow and black Vance and leather. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
was out there talking that talk, told them niggas I'm a handsome fella with 7 different Vance and levers. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I told them the ladies love me, but don't get it confused because my neck full of that shit that you put on the bruise. You feel me? Like I was
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
that type of foolery back then. So
Back then,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I remember someone was like, "Nah, you gonna be something, son." He like, "Let me get your autograph now."
Yeah.
Inshallah, he still got it. But yeah, that was the first time, though. Yep. But
That's
let me
what's
tell you
up.
something about that rock incident, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's so crazy is people really look at the God like he's God, man. Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm telling you, like they be overwhelmed when they see him, man. Like he
Mm-hmm.
just got a natural aura and a natural glow and presence, and he magnetic, truly. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that I was like, oh man, it's like this getting ready to get crazy. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
dude he was on his shoulder, but it all ended well. But it was like, man, for me, it was like, man, like he didn't mean no harm. He just really, really, really saw somebody he really admired. He really
Yeah,
was,
exactly. Yeah,
and
they
he was,
fan out, man. They fan
and he
out.
wanted his 2 minutes to talk
Yeah.
to God. You feel me?
Yeah. That meant something in his life. You know what I
What?
mean?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
imagine if we would have bounced him down the steps on his edge up. Then we would have.
He would have been fucked up forever, bro.
Oh man,
Would have
God.
been like my idol, the person I look up to. You're like, yeah, that would have damaged him forever, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
man.
would have. He probably would have never looked at another celebrity the same. But fans have a they do that. They look at celebrities like celebrities and not like normal human beings.
Right.
So when I tell you pause for a minute, like give me some room to breathe, I'm gonna get to you. To them,
Right.
that's like, wait a minute, you might forget about me. I can't
You
I
might
can't let you
forget
do
and
that.
spin off. Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah, definitely, definitely. How,
Yeah.
how are you adjusting with the fame right now, man?
To be honest with you, God, I'm going through so many other things, like real life situations, like with my son, and
Mm-hmm,
a 16-year-old baby girl. So,
mm-hmm.
um, she's a 16-year-old kid doing what 16-year-old kids do.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
and then my son, facing some serious time. So I really don't
Well,
get I really ain't got a chance to. It's very, 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 very few times. It's far in between to where I get to really just bask in my own little bit of glory. You know what I'm saying?
okay, got you.
It's certain times that I get to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm on stage or when I'm at a show. But a lot of times it's just like I'm really dealing with what's going on in my family and then trying to perfect and master myself again too, because I felt I've been falling short of my dean too. So you know
Mm-hmm.
I'm harder on myself than if you hard on somebody else, you got to be harder 10 times harder on yourself. So for me, it's like I got to get my relationship right with my daughter, and I got to maintain a relationship with my son, a better relationship with my boy, and
Mm-hmm.
and with their mother, and so a lot of that is what consumed my mind. So you know, I
I understand.
I get I
Yeah,
get I get to be in to the little bit of fame when I get to it. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like
I got you.
for
Yeah,
now though, it's like
definitely.
for now it's cool though. It's beautiful. Like I try to. One thing I don't like is that my Instagram done got so crazy to where I can't really read all the messages no more. Because I
Mm.
used to talk to everybody. I send voice messages and talk to them, and you
I
understand?
noticed that. Yeah, yeah. When I hit you, you sent the voice message back. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, God. I like to
Mm-hmm.
be personable, man, and just let because you don't know what that does for people, man. But I do. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, not
Mm-hmm.
saying you don't know, but
Yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
people that's in our positions that people revere and look up to, like that means
Mm-hmm.
something. So I got to that point where now my story, I look at it's like 1,000 people watching this. It's too many DMs, and I'm like, damn, I ain't wanted to. I used to say that all the time. Like I just don't want it to get that big to where I can't talk to them. So, you know, that right there is therapeutic for me, though, God.
Now's the time to maybe, start putting out personal messages. You know what I mean? Not individual personal messages, but just personal messages to the people. You know what I mean? Letting them know that you appreciate it. You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy
Stuff like that.
What's crazy is I wrote a song about that like 3 weeks ago, and I ain't get it in time for my EP, but I'm gonna put it out as like a warm-up record until my EP come out. And I'm just thanking random people. So these people, they're gonna be shocked. People that I did interviews with, people that just hit me and just cheering me on. All of their names in this record, God.
No, that's dope. That's dope. That's definitely dope.
Yeah.
Last question, man. Well, next to last question.
Okay.
What does hip hop mean to you?
Hip hop mean the world to me, man. It changed my life. It shaped and molded my thoughts, my attitude, my just my everyday being, man. Just from way back to listening to Rakim. If Rakim would have never said, "I tell you who you are and why you're here, take it in stride because it might take a year," I'm like, okay, what do he be meaning when he be talking about these, you know what I mean, these lessons and these degrees? And, you understand?
Yep.
So and then to hear Wu and them talk about the power you and you know what I mean, and the God you and all of this, and hearing Havoc, the God with the God you now pulling the caper. You know what I mean? So those things made me want to say, man, I gotta knowledge self. I gotta get knowledge of self because I wanna know. And then, mind you, like I said, that then carried on to my ways and actions to this day as a man. So without hip hop, I don't get that.
Right.
My uncle taught me, like my uncle introduced me to Islam, but he didn't introduce me to the lessons. You know what I'm saying? He introduced me to like Orthodox Islam. You know what I'm saying? Atiba is the one that introduced me to the lessons. And then when he taught me about the lessons, then it made me think about everything that I heard in these records. And I went back and I re-listened to them, I re-digested them. You understand? And it's like, oh, okay. So hip hop is everything because I learned all of these things through hip hop. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things that I learned through hip hop that I just wouldn't have knew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, I mean, Rakim is my favorite. That's my favorite MC of all time. Like what he did, the words that he spoke and the jewels that he dropped, man, were just everlasting. You know what I mean? It was completely. I was a teenager at the time, and I had never heard anything like that ever in my life. And to this day, I don't think I've ever heard anybody do it the way that he did it when he came through the door. You know what I mean? It was it just completely shifted the culture. It shifted the game completely. You know, and that only happens a few times in our sport. You know what I mean? Like hip hop's been here for 50 years, and you can count on both hands how many times somebody shifted the culture. You know what I mean?
Literally, like he literally, man, he made it cool to talk that. Listen, man.
Yeah.
You listen. You like that was different. He was different. The God different, man. I never even met Rakim. That's a crazy thing, and that's who I want to meet. I never met Rakim. Yeah, I gotta meet the God.
I'm going. I've never seen him perform live, and I'm going to a concert this weekend. My son is actually coming out here from the East Coast, from Jersey, and I'm going to a concert this weekend to go see the LL Cool J shit. But Rakim is on that bill though. You know what I mean? And I'm looking forward to seeing him live for the first time. Definitely.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure. Last question, man. What's in the pipeline for the God, man? Beyond the shows, beyond the merch, upcoming projects, anything outside of that? Like, what should people be expecting from the great one?
What to expect besides the music and the merch and all that is this Snow Day movie. And then I'm shooting a movie called Up Top. So after, besides all of the music and everything, just the films, man, like pay attention. I'm going to be shooting these films, directing and shooting the films. And that's what I really want people to pay attention to, because that's where I'm gonna give you all the jewels at, and is through these movies.
That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
Yo, great God, man. Thank you so much for taking your time out to join me on the Essence, man. I really appreciate that. Like I said, this is also going to be transcribed for interview for Validated Magazine. We're gonna put you on the cover of the next issue. You know, I think what you're doing right now is something that the game needs. You know, and I'm interested and I'm tapped in to see, you know, where you're gonna take it, and you know. I see that there's no ceiling with you. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to what's next. Absolutely, bro.
Nah, from the left side of my chest, man. I appreciate you, God. I appreciate you for having me. And you asked the right questions, God. Like, you did the knowledge before you had me on here. I appreciate that.
I got to. Yeah, I can't. You know, I wouldn't be doing my part. You know what I mean? I'll be out here looking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do that. You know, like, and when I do interviews, man, for me, it's not just an interview, man. I want to learn about the person that I'm interviewing. You know what I mean? I want to try to leave a little bit of a mark. So when I see you and say, yo, it's KB Tyndall, man, from the Essence, bro. Oh, okay. I remember you asked some good questions. I remember that.
That's
You know what I mean? So I
right.
appreciate that. No doubt.
Nah,
I appreciate
no doubt,
that.
man. All right.
All right, yo. All right. Stay
Love.
up.
Peace.
All right, one.